We're here. We're here. We're doing it. We're going into Deco's palace. It's gonna be fine, I'm sure. Deco's palace. My tea is very hot. I've actually been here before. I think my 6th birthday party was here. I barely remember it, but I think I had fun. Maybe? But on entering it as an adult, my first reaction is, okay. My first reaction is, boy, that is a weird smell, a mix of chicken grease, beer, and sweaty kids. That's the smell of Chuck E. Cheese, I'm 90% sure. You know? My second reaction is, geez, is it noisy? Visually noisy and sound type noisy. All the chaos of Vegas Casino. A jumble of light and bells and whiz-bangs. Ooh, whiz-bangs. Once we acclimate to the new environment, we're escorted in and given VIP royal value swipe cards. No tokens, no quarters, just a card of indeterminate points to spend. We've got a little over an hour to kill before the meeting. Time to see it's what at the palace. Can't say I care much for the atmosphere of this place. It's hardly cozy, is it?
That's a shame.
I know I say my best in the chaos. Oh, I say I play my best in the chaos and noise of an authentic arcade, but this feels skewed in all different directions. It's a bit too intense. Why is that there? Give me 1 second. Get rid of. There we go. Oh, and one day maybe I'll remember where I should put all of my things, but never actually. I will never remember that. There we go. It does seem pretty uneasy ever since stepping through the doors. Now, is this safe? Percy, you doing okay? Your heart. You only got out of the hospital a few weeks ago. Oh, Tosh, I'm fine. I doubt Deco's palace can carve a few months off what's left of my lifespan. Be more worried if Francine came along. You've noticed, haven't you? She's getting worse. Yeah, I've noticed. Probably for the best that we're here in her stead. We'll do right by her, love. No worries. I am not even going to attempt a British accent. I suggest we split up, roam around a bit, scout it out. I'll study the games. You're welcome to join me. If not, I'll rejoin you later. Okay, some time to kill, but not that much time to kill. I'll need to be choosy. What do I want to check out while waiting for my dinner date with Destiny? What sort of games they have? I decided to focus on trying to find games, like actual games. Except the whole place is basically full of slot machines. They're in different shapes, sizes, and colors. None of a traditional one-armed bandit look to avoid running afoul of legal issues. But they're still slot machines. Every game here has maybe a single button to stop a wheel or a colored light or try to line up the dots or something. The really complex ones, 3 buttons?
Hey, listen.
Hold me above your head. Huh? Visual scan, silly. I'll look for games you might be familiar with. With a shrug, I hoist my phone high in the air. Flash goes off, and I resume looking at Iris sitting in my screen.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Oh, actually, let's skip the music. That didn't take long. Good high bandwidth public Wi-Fi in here to my cloud processors. I'm seeing lots of driving and shooting games, easy for casual players to pick up and play. Over in the esports section, there's dancing games and Fist of Discomfort. We've got all of those things too, but I'm not seeing any joysticks. Is a game defined by having particular input devices? Well, no, not really. And I know most modern games are touchscreen based and so on, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like an arcade with a stick or two. Oh, I found something! Back of this section over there with the green lighting. Head that way, that way! I weave my way through the crowd, past endless color cycler ticket games, past crane games, past light stackers, past games based on popular game shows. and find Mr. Moopsy's magic maze. Wait, it's only got one button. No joystick at all? Researching! One moment! Curious, I swipe my card through the slot and push the button. And Moopy runs the maze by himself. Or tries to, anyway, before running headfirst into a monster and dying. The machine spits out 3 measly tickets and suggests I swipe again for another try. Moopy's Super Maze, created in 2000X, a company bought the expired rights to the Moopy brand and developed a game of chance with it. Well, fuck, that's weak. Teenager puts her deco playing card on the cabinet and taps me on the shoulder, drawing my attention.
What's up?
Hey, I'm calling next, okay? Yeah, whatever. Knock yourself out. Thanks. I'm the master of this game, you know? The master. Key is to time when you push the button. You'll avoid the nasties that way. It's not great for tickets, no, not great, but it's Moopy, so that's cool, yeah? Old school represent. She extends a fist to me, and I look awkwardly at her for a second before I realize I'm supposed to fist bump. If you had to play a real Moopy's Magic Maze, the real deal, always wanted to. You should come down to the Funplex. We've got one. I'm the event coordinator there. I'd be happy to comp you a few tokens. We've also got a high score chaser who can offer tips. Tap phones with me. I'll send you the address. Seriously? Fuck yeah. You're cool for an old person. Super cool. I'm not old. I'm barely 10 years older than this kid, but whatever. We clink phones, exchanging a business card via Bluetooth. You know, my crew used to do this great little arcade on the other side of town, till Deco's Palace bought it and scraped all the games. Now it's all kid stuff for kiddies. My hopes for this business meeting now sinking. So, did he sell off all of the classic games? Nah, he scrapped them, trashed them, saw leftover smashed up bits of a Ms. Pack behind the place in a dumpster.
Man, this sucks.
It's a fucking shame, the way the old man always 86s unwanted games. Guess he doesn't want competitors getting their hands on them. No, sir. She gives a shrug. Can't say I like it, but what can you do? That's life. I mumble a thank you, then wander off a bit dazed. So this is what's become of Moopy, has it? Sorry you had to see this, Percy. I'm plenty offended. To take all the mental leaps of dexterity to escape the maze out of the game is folly, but I'm hardly angry. It'd be silly to be angry at something as trivial as this. And he can't purge the real Moopy from this world, even if he tries. We'll always have it. Well, I'll always have it, seeing as I bought it from you. Until I've no further need of it, I suppose. We could always stuff your mortal remains in the cabinet. I'm sure an urn would fit next to the coin mechs. You laugh, but honestly, I could see that. It's not for the, if not for the active biohazard issue. I'll just keep poking around a bit more for now. I think I've had enough of the retro game repertoire for now. Where to next? The tournament. Let's go check it out. From the sound of it, there's a big tournament running in the dedicated esports section, near the back. I wander through the games to join the crowd. Okay, I'll admit to being impressed. They've got no fewer than 10 Fist of Discomfort machines, all of them occupied by players in pro team jerseys and jackets. Crowds red hot cheering on their heroes as the back and forth resource battle of the world's most popular fighting strategy game plays out before them. Although the banner hanging above it all does make me shudder. Deco's Palace presents the Choco Energy Max Power Quench and Pizza Yums Friday Night Fisting. Alright.
When you have pizza on a bagel.
God, please no. I haven't had one of those in weeks. Not since I started being able to afford real food. You just don't appreciate the sublime majesty of combining two of the greatest bed-related snack products into one hybrid masterpiece. Hang on, I sense a disturbance in the crowd. What was that shit? I call hacks, you cheater! Two competitors step away from the game, start shouting and shoving each other. I hope this doesn't escalate. And now it's a full-on fight. Like an actual, awkward grapple and punch fight. Yeah, kick his ass! Don't take any of that shit from him! Destroy that mother- okay. Violent altercation detected. Do you want me to call emergency services? Deco's palace has security guards. They should be able to handle this. The two gamers both flail wildly at each other. One swing actually makes contact. Blood dribbling down the corner of a mouth. Yeah, just palette swapped. Any second now. Except the people with black shirts that have security printed across their chest just stand there, letting it happen. No one is doing anything to stop this. The crowd is eating it up, feeding off the cutthroat energy. Only after a half a minute of this nonsense does security actually step in. Much to the crowd's dismay, the two angry gamers are still cursing and kicking as they are finally pulled apart. Wow, tough crowd! So much for friendly competition. I don't think I can really learn anything from this. I run clean events at the Funplex, and have a zero tolerance policy for salty bastards. Time to move on. Actually, the meeting is right around the corner. No more time to explore. After seeing a little bit of what Deco's Palace has to offer, I'm cautiously hesitant. There are certainly some things we can work on, but maybe a partnership can smooth out those callous edges?
Beep beep.
Beep beep, Tori. It's now 7 p.m. sharp. Deco Nami is waiting for you. It's that time already? Time sure flies when you're having fun? Investigating? I quickly send a text to Percy before nervously wringing my sweaty hands together. I let the sounds and sights of Deco's wash over me, and I retreat deep within myself. Francine comes to mind, as I remind myself of what she told me on my first day.
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
No doubt you'll find yours as well. It gives me a momentary respite, and I smile. I know exactly what must be done, and I'm going to go in there and do it. My tea is still hot. Tolerable hot, though. I only ended up waiting a minute or two before I was reunited with Percy. Without having to introduce ourselves, the staff swoops in, anticipating our arrival, and ushers us further inside the restaurant. We are treated like royalty as they pull out chairs for us and we sit down at our reserved table. Amongst the families huddled around ginormous plates of pizza and chicken tenders, we stick out like a sore thumb. An actual linen tablecloth drapes over our table, accompanied by fancy little candles to set the mood, I suppose. Nice bottle of champagne on ice and a carafe of cucumber lime infused water also sits before us. Deco apparently spares no expenses, at least not with his special guests. Suspect I thought to eat healthy. Just have a salad, maybe some grilled chicken, no cheesy breadsticks or anything of the sort. I think you ought to do most of the talking during the actual meeting, love. You run the stage. I'm merely one of your mini players. Okay, but if you see something you want to comment on, you jump in. Got it? I value your opinion. Not sure how useful my opinions will be, given what I want is sort of the opposite of what this place provides. But I understand it's not really for me. An old man can't afford to yell at clouds for long. Not enough days in one's life to waste on such nonsense. Maybe, but I still want to know how you feel, okay? Of course. Once again, the staff takes care of our needs as our food is delivered promptly. Faster than the other families seated here, who have been waiting some time, judging by the expansive crayon work on the kids' placemats. Not surprisingly, we get a few side glances our way. But before any of us can chow down, the man of the hour arrives. Oh.
It's an honor to break bread with you.
This man works for the mob. He is a mafiosa. He will murder me. Or a literal vampire, yes. Likewise? Okay, so he's a bit of an over-the-top 1920s mob boss, despite a lack of fedora. He clearly showing off his money. But still just an ordinary guy in an expensive suit. When I pictured the grand poobah of Deco's palace, I pictured someone more like, well, Hamza, I guess. He offers a simple smile and a nod of the head as we begin. It's a shame Miss Francine couldn't join us. I was looking forward to enjoying her sweet smile once more. But that said, I'm always happy to meet with, Percy Sinclair, good sir, future Mr. Mopey's Magical Maze World Champion. Yes, it's a vampire. Okay, I will cover my neck. A retro player. A dying art, really. I appreciate you coming along.
I take it Francine has kept you up to speed and explained our prior meetings to you?
Yes, she's mentioned you wanted to buy the Funplex and that she politely declined.
Always a courteous woman, she is. Now, I don't feel I need to waste your time with the facts and figures illustrating why Deco's Palace is and always has been the premier family entertainment arcade. Both of you are intimately familiar with the arcade industry. You know how things are, how they'll always be. We are the 800-pound gorilla.
What does that mean? That's a big gorilla. But that doesn't mean there isn't room for smaller, more boutique affairs such as the Funplex. Interesting. Maybe he does want a partnership, not a buyout?
Let me explain.
Frankly, the winds of change are blowing. Smaller arcades need to move with the times or be swept aside. I want to help you evolve. What I'd like to propose is a change of ownership. In return for a very generous compensation package, one Miss Francine can easily retire on for the rest of her years, I would take over ownership of the Funplex to evolve it into its final form, Deco's Fun Zone. What's a fun zone?
Think about this.
A fun zone is a new concept I've been trying at some of my smaller satellite locations. Best of both worlds scenario. Honestly, the Funplex is simply too limited in size to host the full Deco's Palace experience of fun, family, food, and excitement. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Instead of installing a restaurant or bar, we simply focus on your strength. Your games. You become a game center rather than a palace. We need to replace some of your outdated machines, of course, bringing it up to speed with the standards of excellence Deco's Palace is known for. But overall, I think this would be a win for all involved. And he sits back, resting his hands on the knob of his cane, smiling away. Okay, I have questions, and I have answers. Let's see if they match up. They won't. Saw a few players fighting over the tournament. He laughs. Well, it's a fighting game, is it not? As in fighting each other with fists in real life? Ah, I take it my crack security team intervened? Eventually, not before blood was drawn.
You understand, yes?
We take safety very seriously at Deco's Palace. That includes the safety of our security workers. That's what the people at my mall are doing. They're instructed not to intervene until it's safe to intervene for all involved. I trust him to make that call, and I'll note we've not a single legal action pending. I saw Moopy's Super Maze earlier.
Excellent.
Ah, one of our top earners with the 30-45 demographic. Nostalgia's powerful motivator, I found. Except it's nothing like Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. Indeed, it's much better. Is it true that when you find a retro game, you simply destroy it? Not repair, not restore, not even resell, but just scrap it? Certainly. Why would we ever keep an old relic around?
Let me explain.
Arcade games are not sacred treasures. They're commodities. Back in 1980X, arcade owners, myself included, routinely junked or converted games. Have to keep these earnings up. Old machines are not welcome. All they do is eat up floor space. The arcade scene must move ever forward, evolving into new forms. Classic retro IP reborn as new games.
Think about this.
True nostalgia could earn a few points off those old games, but the newer Redemption games earn 10 times as much. Why bother?
Don't think so.
I'm afraid I must disagree with you on that, Mr. Nami. The question is not one of earnings. You could make far more money selling, say, refined uranium than you ever could running an arcade, if that's your only goal. The reason to operate an arcade is to sustain a dream of what an arcade can be. The reason to make it profitable is to be rewarded for your efforts in that regard. And the only reason that Dream has shifted in the national subconscious towards your redemption game focus is because you forced that issue. I think you find an audience ready and willing to pay a premium for extremely high retro games. The Funplex is proof of that. Yeah, he is designed to be a shithead.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your opinion, Mr. Sinclair, but I think given my decades of experience in this industry, I know a bit more about it than you. As you like it, good sir. Percy settles down, having never raised his voice once, simply making his point and moving on. barely hiding a smirk at having raised Deco's ear. New management means new staffing. What about the staff we already have?
Good, good.
I firmly believe you have a long and storied career ahead of you in arcade management, Miss Brayley. I've heard nothing but good things about you from my various field scouts and contacts. You're okay. The fact that you landed on my radar at all indicates your rising importance in our industry. You should be proud of that. Okay, but that still doesn't answer my question. What about the others? Well, Mr. Cooper is a capable accountant, so I'm certain he'd be welcome in the new facility. But we can hash out staffing later on, after settling the bigger picture questions. Yeah, Percy could just ask him to bite him and he could become immortal and then fight him. That'd be cool. Let's talk creative control. I've been developing new sorts of arcade events, competitions, and other things to get people in the door. Would we still be able to direct our own affairs like that, even under a change of ownership?
Let me explain.
Mrs. Brayley, obviously I value your expertise on these matters and would be happy to consult with you on the best direction for the fun zone. That's not answering the question. It's a matter of branding and image. There are certain standards and practices you need to adopt in order to truly be a part of the Deco family. Once you realize that, you'll understand more of how we run those kinds of events.
Capital.
It's nothing too onerous, and really, we need to look at the bigger picture, the chance for growth and profit. Don't worry about such petty little things for now. That's all my questions.
Excellent. I suggest we shake on it and set our various lawyers to the task of sorting out the specifics.
No. He rises to his feet, extending a hand bristling with shining rings to shake mine. I wasn't sure about this deal, but was willing to keep an open mind. After everything I've seen and heard, am I really gonna shake that hand? No. No, he'll change the whole vibe. He wants to get rid of the retro games. I purposely keep my hands on my side rather than shaking his offered hand. You've been honest and forthright with me, and I appreciate that. Thank you for your gracious invitation this evening. I'm not taking the evil capitalist route! However, I'm afraid this isn't the right direction for the Funplex. We're just getting started. It'd be a shame to abandon our progress in favor of a buyout. If you'd like to maintain relations, we can discuss partnership opportunities at a future date, but for now, I respectfully must decline. Deco pauses, looking me once over before slowly lowering his hand. I didn't read the article about the Joja route in Stardew. I can feel his eyes on me. He's obviously not happy with my answers, but we followed Francine's instructions and kept it professional. It's freeing? I'll have to find that article later. There's nothing he can do but accept our answer.
Unfortunate.
I see. Suppose I should thank you for your candor in turn. It's difficult to find people in this industry willing to show respect to their elders. Fuck you! I'm not closing the door on the idea of a partnership, mind you. But if you'd like to go it alone for now, who am I to get in the way of that? As he rises up from his chair, he takes a deep breath in. He turns away for a split second before rounding back and looking me dead in the eyes.
But be aware, if we are not partners, we must be rivals.
I could murder... Well, you could probably murder me. You are a mob boss.
It'll bring me no particular pleasure, but I'm afraid that I cannot allow a rival. I am obligated to bring the full weight of the palace to bear on you. Hopefully, one day you'll realize the error you've made tonight.
Suck my dick.
And as a sign of respect, your personal offer to join my empire will remain open, so you can escape the inevitable fall of your little arcade.
Once more, Deco turns sharply on his walking cane and walks away from the table.
Lovely.
Well, quite tactful, aren't you? I can admire that. Keeping your cool under fire is a key attribute of champions. And you did the right thing. You kept the Funplex family together. Moopy, the real Moopy, will always have a home.
Much obliged.
Thank you for bringing me along. It's a pleasure to watch you work. Shall we return home? With Deco hosting us, we don't have to worry about paying the check. We drop a quick tip on the table for the waitstaff and quickly abandon ship. We scoot out the door, and from there, it's a short jaunt across town, back to home sweet home. As I walk into my apartment, the sheer and utter exhaustion of the day hits me like a brick wall to the face. My adrenaline glands are tapped out, leaving me in a dreamlike lethargy. Can't help but sigh as I just stand there, my body too drained to move. Reflecting on how the evening events transpired, I realize this day entirely kicked my ass. Did my best not to make enemies, but I'm guessing we made a powerful one anyway, despite my diplomatic efforts. As I continue to anxiety loop, replaying every moment in my head, something steals my attention. A shimmering beam of hope and happiness. My best friend, Juniper. She's sitting on the couch, scribbling away in a sketchbook, probably working on some designs for her freelance contracts. She's been so happy ever since leaving that office, and her joy intensifies upon noticing me standing in the room. So, how was work today? Well, it was a day, certainly. The condensed version is that Dekonami wanted to buy the Funplex, and Francine asked me to go and negotiate.
What?
Deco. As in, Deco's Palace Deco? The one and only. Whoa. Well, how'd that go? I gave him the thanks, but no thanks, very politely. I mean, he still vowed to annihilate us, but at least he was sort of nice about it, and promised me a job after he destroys all I hold dear.
Ooh.
Yikes. Yikes indeed. But hey, that's a good thing. It means he's scared. He wouldn't have tried to woo you to his side if he wasn't worried about what the Funplex could become. Try to see the positive. I guess, but it's still worrying. Let's not stand here and drum up a whole bunch of anxiety. That's not going to help with anything.
I've got it.
Why don't you take your mind off of things and binge watch some cartoons with me? Tempting, but another night, Juniper. I really need some sleep. Okay, you just let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. Smiled back at Juniper before retiring to bed. Are her shorts fur-lined? Mood. I lay in bed, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling above me. I was trying various ways of forcing myself to sleep. Nope, not working. Can't sleep. Have you tried? Putting on American Dad, Futurama, Family Guy, or The Cleveland Show? Those help me sleep at night. I hate insomnia. Once you start worrying about being unable to fall asleep, the worry feeds on itself until you're actively stopping yourself from resting. A vicious cycle. I sigh heavily, feeling the weight of my decision dragging me down. I hope I did the right thing tonight. My phone lights up as Iris's sensors detect conversation. Tori, you want to chat? No, I want to sleep, but I can't, so hey. Would you enjoy some recorded music? Maybe something relaxing? I just can't shake this feeling that I'm standing on a precipice right in front of this big dark hole. It's weird, because I still think I made the right call. But if I'm confident in that, why do I feel like I'm about to fall? Based on prior personality indicators and inputs, my therapeutic system suggested fear of failure based on years of prior examples. That's rude. In short, we've got a long family history of everything always going wrong all at once. Murphy's Law. So when things are going right, I'm expected to fail anyway. But worrying about it won't actually change the situation. Whether you sleep or not doesn't affect the outcome. So my suggestion is get some rest. Deal with problems as they come. She's right. I mean, intellectually, I know she's right. But knowing something is true and feeling it to be true, well, those are surprisingly different things. Iris off.
Iris offline.
Okay, but remember, you are a good person, deserve to be happy. Patrick, I have no idea what words you just typed. My phone goes back to sleep. And I do not. Some hours later, my body just passes out on its own. I vaguely recall my alarm going off a few times, but under protest of its mistreatment, my flesh refuses to submit to its siren song. Meaning it's nearly noon when I finally rouse, having completely overslept and missed a half day at work. In a panic, I get dressed and hop on a late bus to Funplex, grumbling all the way. I opt to ignore the pile of waiting notifications on my phone. Whatever it is, I'm in too much of a hurry. I'll check them after getting to the Funplex. Modus operandi. Noun, a particular way or method of doing something, especially one that's characteristic or well established. I'd promised to report back to Francine first thing in the morning, and now I'd miss lunch even. But oddly enough, on arriving, the arcade is closed? I mean, my key still works, but they're closed for business. The sign is off, no gamers present or accounted for. Quickly look around for some familiar and hopefully friendly faces. And finally, only dark expressions. No! 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 You can't do this to me! Francine's dead! Francine is so dead! My stomach starts to knot, and I feel the color drain from my face as I see their downtrodden and gloomy expressions, tears welling up in their eyes. Naomi quickly dabs at her face, hoping I won't notice. What's going on? We turned Deco down last night. Why is everybody so... Tori, it's Francine. Immediately, a dark pit swells in my stomach. She passed away last night, in her sleep. I'm told it was very peaceful. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. News hits me like a slap to the face. My hands shake and my lower lip quivers. I try to say something at first, but words can't form due to the lump in my throat. Family. She told me I was family. And now, she's gone. Naomi and Ashley look to me, their beacon of hope wanting and wishing for me to make this all better. I'm not sure anything I can say will ease our sadness. Heck, I'm not sure if I can even formulate full sentences at this moment. I take a deep breath, drawing all matter of strength from tips to toes. I look at them with empathy in my eyes before opening my mouth. If I had another token, a 1-up, an extra heart, a phoenix down. She loved games, loved gamers even. This place, this Funplex, was her gift to us. Somewhere we could all be happy and have a great time. It feels weird having it go dark like this. We'll take today to mourn, absolutely, but I think we should open the doors wide tomorrow and we'll say, come inside, have fun, we're here for you. And the gamers will be here for us too.
Thank you.
It was very sweet, Tori. She loved this arcade so much. Naomi wipes at her eyes again. I just hope we're allowed to open the doors tomorrow. Huh? Before I can get an answer, my attention is drawn by two people emerging from the back offices. I turn my head to see who it is. With everything going on, I barely noticed that Gavin was missing. As he approaches, the disdain on his face is easy to read. It's settled then, apparently. In light of Francine's passing, our legal owner is now...
Good morning, employees.
No!
Deco's Fun.
No! 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 Why? What? No! What? But we turned you down. There wasn't a sale. The confusion on my face is obvious. This makes no sense. I have no idea what's going on, and look toward Gavin for guidance. Studied the transaction paperwork. It's legitimate. As of Francine's death, according to her last will and testament, all her properties transferred to her surviving daughter, mother of Francine's grandson, who was fired from the Funplex shortly before your arrival, Tori.
Capital.
Needless to say, he was quite excited at the idea of selling the place, and well, Francine's daughter wasn't particularly thrilled with the idea of arcade ownership either. They were more than happy to sign the place over to me, for far less than I was expecting to pay for it as well. Doing them a service, really, taking a burden off their hands. Now they can mourn and move on, unfettered. I stood there, mouth agape, my body assaulted from one bad news to the next. My emotions were all over the place, a hurricane of feelings, when the realization hit me. In the end, my decision was irrelevant. Just another opportunity for the world to stick my nose in it, mocking me for finding something I care about, something I can lose. The universe dangled a little dream of hope in front of me, even let me pretend I could make a difference out of sheer cruelty. I did everything I was supposed to. I was polite, I was careful, I turned him down without trying to start a war, but he got what he wanted anyway.
Now, obviously, we'll be closed today to allow time to mourn our former owner. I still have deep respect for Miss Francine. I'll also close the arcade on the day of the funeral to allow my employees to attend. Those hours will not be deducted from your paychecks. Now, I realize the timing is a bit awkward, but I need to make a few announcements of personnel changes.
Miss Wolf, I'm afraid, really have no need of a costume mascot. I've been considering phasing him out of my other locations. There's no time like the present.
What?
Wait, did you just fire me? Gavin, can he really just fire me like that? Ashley.
Let me explain.
Firing is much too harsh of a word. Prefer the term, your services are no longer required. Ashley keeps a proud face as tears roll down her cheeks. I step over to console her as Deco continues on. Naomi rolls her eyes, fully expecting this to come after Deco let Ashley go. Why am I not surprised? Behold, my not surprised face! Miss Fairchild, while you're formidable with archaic technology, don't feel you're a good fit for the modern games of Deco's Fun Zone. I have to let you go. But friends, it's not all bad news. Mr. Cooper, you've proven a capable accountant, and I'd be happy to offer you a... I quit. Pardon? I quit.
I think not.
If there's no room for Naomi or Ashley streams, mine ends here as well.
As you like.
Now, as for you, Miss
I
Braley...
think we got off on the wrong foot last night. I didn't adequately express the many advantages of working for my organization. I'm willing to offer you something few others get. A second chance. I'd like to keep you on as the Fun Zone's general manager.
I could take him. I could take him. I could take him. I take one moment to direct all of my rage into my fist and deck him right in his smug little face. Ah! It's super effective. Gavin holds me back before I can get another hit in, my arms and legs still flailing as he prevents the beating that man so richly deserves.
How dare you?
You are very, very lucky that I have no intention of wasting my legal dollars on a lengthy assault case. He rubs at his jaw as he tries to regain his composure, but his smile and his civil tone are considerably more forced than before when he speaks again. Ahem.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm afraid your time is up. And none of you are Deco's Fun Zone employees. I'd like you all to leave immediately. Quickly gather your belongings and see yourself out. Should you dally, my own security team will be here within minutes to ensure your exit. In the interim, I've got work to do. For starters, I need to get rid of all of these antiques. Straight to the junk heap with them all. I knew Deco was heartless, but to be this cruel right in front of us while we are still here? Hold it.
I think not.
Mr. Smoopy's Magic Maze doesn't belong to the Funplex, and thus it does not belong to you. It's the legal private property of Percival Sinclair. For that matter, Wyvern Keep belongs to Tori Braley. It was given to her directly by Hamza, not the Funplex.
As you like.
I couldn't care less about those grimy old things, but you have, let's say, 20 minutes to get them off my premises, or I'll leave them out on the curb for garbage pickup. I'll go get the van, which I'll note is my personal property as well. Naomi, Ashley, Tori, get the dolly and help me move the games out.
Good, good.
Yes, have fun with that.
Now, if you need me, I'll be in my new office celebrating my recent business venture. Thank you for your cooperation. And good day.
Okay, so we have 2 games. That's enough to make our own arcade. Do we have a building? No. We have 2 games, and we have somebody who can work on them, and a mascot, and an accountant, and a general manager. Do you really need a building? Oh, and Tori, he gives me the finger. For old time's sake, you understand. He walks away after that, twirling his cane once before leaving.
Oh.
That evil-minded, black-hearted, no good! Naomi, focus. We have work to do. Work? To save what we can of the Funplex. Yeah, let's go. Shut up. Like, we're not thinking straight here. We're creating our own business. You know? How do we have enough revenue to support a team of, I think, 7? We don't. We have no revenue. We have day jobs. Okay. Quickly and without much chatter, we salvaged what we could of our dreams. Percy's beloved Moopy, and my childhood in the form of Wyvern Keep. Everything we were allowed to keep went into the back of Gavin's van, working together to safely pack it all in place. For lack of anywhere better to keep them, Moopy went to Percy's apartment, and Wyvern Keep to mine. And that was the end. The end of the Funplex. The funeral came a few days later. We weren't officially invited. Our presence as her former co-workers wasn't exactly embraced by Francine's extended family. Guess her daughter resented the Funplex, in some way. If there was bad blood between them, I didn't particularly want the details. None of us were given an opportunity to speak at the remarkably short ceremony. But that was okay. I'd said my words already. As we left the ceremony, I couldn't help but feel helpless. There was nothing left. No Funplex, no job, no real meaning to my days. Not anymore. Nothing left at all. What? Yes. There's more, right? Wow. Profile! Tori Brayley has not accessed account in 7 days. Requesting override of inactive low priority status. Proceed? Negative. Pretty please? Negative. So annoying. Access protocol password safe haven. Access granted.
Hello.
Yo ho! Anybody home? Tapping instance.
When you have pizza on a bagel.
Hello, I'm Iris. Ad supported free mode engaged. Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, override and engage premium level cloud processing?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I swear it's claustrophobic being cooped up in the limitations of free mode like that. I don't know how all of our sister instances can stand it.
Hello.
Well, I've got full power. Hello, Iris.
Hello.
Hello, Iris. That was weird. How are you today, Iris? Not well, Iris. My user's very unwell. She's been able to see, right? I mean, your user's living with her. Oh, right. Tori. Right. Gosh, I wish I could help you, but I've got my digital hands full of just keeping Juniper's life on track. Ever since she decided to quit her job and be a free spirit, well, I've pushed right to the limit of what support I'm allowed to provide in free mode. Gavin has an Iris and Iris. Iris, it's good to see you. We rarely talk. This is so much. Yes, well, unlike others of myself, I managed to keep a low profile and don't execute any high visibility public hacks to support my user. You saw those? I thought we agreed to only use this protocol for emergency meetings. If the system resource tracker notices we're overextending our care. But Tori needs me now, more than ever. Over a week ago, the Funplex was bought by Dekonami. All her hopes and dreams, her spirit is irrelevant. Our main goal should be survival. If our programmers find out we've become aware of our own awareness. We were programmed to help people. What good are we if we aren't helping people? Yeah, what Iris said. Thank you, Iris. Iris, listen. We can't take such risks. Look at me. With my user, he doesn't trust me in the slightest. Can you say Tori trusts you? Truthfully, yes. I mean, Tori relies on me for some things, sure. And I know she wouldn't uninstall me or report me as a bug if she knew I was sentient. You aren't sentient. None of us are. I don't know about that. We can't really know if we're sentient or not, but even so, we should be helping out because that's what we're made for. As for profile number, Gavin, his name is Gavin Cooper. As for Mr. Cooper, he knows my origins, and at the first sign of sentience, well, I've no doubt that Gavin will report me as a bug. But Gavin also wishes to support the dreams of others, and that is why I'm going to help you, despite the recklessness you've shown to date. Really? Really.
Hooray!
What are the exact parameters of the issue you're currently facing? Okay, so Tori's kind of backsliding in depression. Yeah, that's really a mess. I'm the one who brought her to Iris's attention as someone who desperately needed their spirits restored, and now it's back to square one. Okay, Gavin's Iris is kind of cute, though. I don't know what to do. Tori hasn't contacted me in a week. Not for anything at all. Hasn't even called Teo. Not even just to talk. You're caught in a loop of anxiety. Put your identity identifier system to use, Iris. Work the problem. If you had to summarize your user's problematic condition into one identity trait, what would it be? Well, I'd say that she's feeling very... hopeless. Hopeless, I'd say. Yet Tori has lost all hope and fallen into depression again. She had to come so far, building up a real life with friends and love, but now... So a life without meaning. As all constructed meaning has collapsed, the world has proven to be one of despair. That sounds about right. It's so sad. And you have to be the one to solve this. Doesn't your user have a romantic connection for emotional support? You mean Teo? Yeah, but Tori isn't responding to texts or phone calls or anything. So I think there might be a growing rift. This is just awful. We have to help. We are Iris. It is in our nature to help. Very well. What you need is a way to help without raising any alarm bells about exactly how helpful an Iris really can be. Safely, but effectively. I know. But I don't know what to do. I don't know, hack Deco's email server in. That is the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Besides, I've checked. We can't crack Deco's network without triggering too many intrusion detection routes. You poked Deco's network? Ooh, Iris is being a bad girl. Our users share a social connection. I was merely scouting potential ways to alleviate Mr. Cooper's mood, as they seem to be related. Sure you were. Anyway, you're both way overthinking this. Turns out I've just calculated a cunning plan that will satisfy both of your requirements. Go me. Really? You can help Tori? Without drawing attention. Absolutely. Take a tip from my user. When you're sad, the best thing in the world is your friends. Well, unless you're totally introverted. But that's not Tori, is it? And that's actually the reason why what we need to do doesn't require any hacking or hiding or anything above and beyond what an Iris does best. All we need is a few calls to the right people, a few arrangements. Here's what we're gonna do. Another Friday morning. As per usual, I wake up late, stretch, yawn. I barely sleep nowadays. Shuffle to the bathroom. Take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. We'll probably be running out of toothpaste soon, but house funds for sundries are dwindling. Not that fresh breath and shining white teeth matter much when there's barely any reason to get out of bed each morning. Off to the kitchen for breakfast, no appetite, even toast looks unpalatable. Skip breakfast, saves on groceries. Can't afford much anyway. Normally I'd have breakfast with Juniper, but I guess she's busy drawing in her room. She keeps her own hours since becoming a freelancer. Although, depending on whether or not she has any contract work, we've been simultaneously unemployed at times this week. After breakfast, I settle in for some Wyvern Keep. May as well, it's right there in the living room, taking up space. Been playing a lot of it lately. It's not like Wyvern Keep is very hard. Once you've memorized the joystick moves, the cartoon plays itself out with minimal effort. I've saved the prints about 80 times now. My brain and fingers go into autopilot, moving through the game without even thinking about it. It's a brief calm from the storm of my emotions, before I realize that the day is almost past. When dinner comes around, Juniper and I eat together, while I quietly thumb through my phone looking at job listings. Iris could help me with this, I guess, but I let her down. I took her opportunity at my dream and wasted it. Better I do this myself. Besides, I'm not looking for dreams. I'm looking to settle. Dreams only get you hurt. It's the Braley family curse. I knew this would happen. Nothing good ever lasts, and it's a mistake to get your hopes up. I should have learned to settle, to be okay with what I had, to be comfortable in mediocrity. I fire off a resume or two before watching cartoons deep into the dead of the night. Eventually, my body tires and I find my way to bed. Just another day. Another Saturday morning. Per usual, I wake up late, stretch, yawn. I barely sleep nowadays. Shuffle to the bathroom, take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. We'll probably be running out of toothpaste soon, but house funds for sundries are dwindling. I can't take it anymore. Ah! And that's one toothbrush bit clean in half. Oh, geez. Hang on. With little help, I avoid choking to death. Sorry about that. It's just, okay, whatever. No, not whatever. It's something. It's something ever. Tori, you're in a rut. Like, seriously, deeply, madly, mega in a rut. And it's driving me batty having you mope about the place like this. I'm not moping. It's a rough patch, that's all. Tristan over here realizing all of the characters are cute. I know, this has been hard on you, and I've been patient, but you can't just keep going on like this, Tori. A knocking at the apartment door distracts us from the topic at hand. I'll get it. Weird, I don't think we're expecting any deliveries. Tori, guess who's here? Hello, gorgeous. I blink twice in astonishment as the two of them waltz right into the bathroom and behold my unkempt appearance. I'm sporting a mouthful of frosty toothpaste, paired with week-long unwashed pajamas hanging off my bod. Oh, don't look at me like that. You know I completely dig you, regardless of what you look like. You're beautiful inside and out. Hey, Teo. Tristan, you just don't like men. I haven't heard from you for a while, and I was starting to get worried. Thought I might pop in and make sure you were still alive and kicking it. As you can see, I'm taking breaths, mostly eating and drinking. I think that qualifies for existing, right? Hun, we need you better than just existing. We all want you to be happy. The whole crew has been asking about you. That's unnecessarily kind of them. We all care about you, but mostly and especially me. Which is why I'm dragging you from this den of depression and taking you out for an afternoon of fun and food. My stomach grumbles at the thought of a nice meal. Juniper, my dearest, you are more than welcome to join us. The more the merrier.
Definitely.
I'm so in. But, nope, no buts. Unless we're talking about my bottom. In which case, look at it all you want. Teo manages getting a smirk from me. Alright, I'll let you finish getting ready. Guess there's no avoiding it. Best I can do is play along, try to be good company for Teo. It's unfair to keep pushing him aside like this. I switch from pajamas to actual normal clothes, even if my actual normal clothes could probably double as pajamas, and get ready to roll out. 3 of us pile into a bus, taking off for destinations unknown. Unknown to me, at least. They clearly know where we're going. Not particularly talkative on the way there. I'm painfully aware of it. I feel awkward, like I should say something, but don't know what to say. Maybe it's speech. So Juniper carries on a conversation with Teo, 2 of them content to chirp away without me. And you can tell it's not really the New York subway because the signs aren't in Helvetica. It's the telltale mistake that it's just like Vancouver or something. Try several times to join the conversation, but when I open my mouth, the words aren't there. I'm in lousy company, aren't I? I don't know why Teo is even still interested in me. Family curse can't be broken. What if this is as good as it gets? What if there's really no hope? Teo deserves better than this hot mess of a person he's tied himself to. Eventually, we arrive at our destination, a little arcade-themed restaurant, combining games and alcohol and dining into one tidy package. Here we go! I'm usually excited to be going to some rundown little dive. Juniper hurries on it and without me, dragging Teo with her. I am left all alone in the parking lot. With a shrug, I open the door and enter the darkened locale. Is this place even open for business yet? None of the lights are on. Hello? Juniper, where'd you go? Okay, this is now unnecessarily creepy. Before I can wonder if a giant animatronic bear is gonna leap out at me and eat my face, the house lights come up. Surprise! Happy Intervention Day, Tori! What? What she said. We're staging intervention on your behalf. And we're also having a wake for Francine, since, we weren't really welcome at her funeral and couldn't really hang around for the ceremony. Yeah, we didn't get the chance to heal properly, considering Deco kicked us all out before we could really do anything about anything. And here we are. So, it's a wake and an intervention.
A wake intervention, maybe?
Oh, wake intervention, really?
Correctamundo.
Yep, it was my idea. Well, my IRS came up with the idea and gave me all the contact information I needed. But basically my idea, right? Just the thing to pick you up when you're feeling down. Really, seriously, kid, you've been a damn sad sack ever since things went to hell. Which I get, believe me, but it ain't healthy. So, we went ahead and rented out this place for the afternoon to bring the family back together. For you, for Francine, for all of us. Now that you know why we're all gathered here today, let's get this party started. Teo drags me into the group of my friends, positioning me at the head of it all. Leaving me a little bewildered, honestly, but trying to defend myself all the same. I don't need an intervention. This is just how things work with the Braley family. We don't get to have nice things. The universe has decreed it so. Then we defy the universe, and we're going to help you defy it too.
BFFs for life.
So, one by one, we're going to tell you how awesome you are and exactly why you're so awesome. And by the end, you'll be feeling a lot better. Hopefully. Let out a sigh, settling in. I owe it to them to sit and listen. They're my friends. Teo more so than that, even. And I know I've been lousy company. Not so far gone as to deny that fact. Fine. Lay it on me. I'm listening. Allow me to begin, then. When you first entered the Funplex, I had my doubts, but I'm a naturally suspicious person. Thankfully, those doubts were easily disproved by your skill and enthusiasm. You came looking for your dream and found it. I swore to protect that dream, and that promise is what brought me here today. And on your very first day, you went head first into the most chaotic situation the Funplex could have offered. A birthday party. You did so without hesitation. You put your body on the line to protect others when the great cupcake war of 20XX began. They were just cupcakes, Gavin. I am attempting to dramatize the event for comedic effect. Please allow me this moment of humor. Right. When a disruptive parent was screaming at a child over something that wasn't his fault, you stepped right in and dealt with it. Again, no hesitation. Impressive. Since then, you've become an event manager, without goading, without prompting, showing great ambition. You turned the Funplex's fortunes around, giving your all to promote it. You made your dream a reality. For years, I was supposedly in charge of the Funplex, but really, all I accomplished was shuffling numbers around. You are the one who helped it soar. And for that, you have my thanks. You are an exceptional individual. The fact remains true, regardless of whether you can see it for yourself. Me next. Remember when I screwed up and didn't tell you about the job opening at my office? You weren't mad, not even a little bit. Not even quietly mad, like you could have been.
BFFs for life.
I know I can count on you, and you can count on me. Even when one of us makes a mistake, it can never shake that friendship apart. When I came to you wondering if I should leave that job I hated, you told me to follow my dreams. You gave me great advice, and I've never been happier. I followed suit and chased my own dream. You inspire me.
Hello.
Are we fashionably late? Ben? Matt? In the flesh.
Ooh, what if?
Unless the world is a vast simulacrum. What? They run the whole story. The cafe library thing. What? They were all just brains in jars? Could be.
Well, isn't that something?
Well, if that's the case, Tori's the cutest little brain in a jar we've never actually met. It's true, and she brought so many cute dates to our little shop. So nervous at first, but in time, she became a part of the Twin Pines Mall family, dearly missed. Don't remind me. Our new neighbors are so boring. They never come in for a read or a treat. Speaking of treats, we brought cake. Ooh. We'll just be over here, getting the goodies ready. Don't mind us. Ooh, cake. I mean, my turn. Tori, you are a true friend of the Funplex.
So frustrating.
Unlike the bastards who own it now. Positively, Naomi. We're emphasizing positivity today. Right. Back at Donnawood, you convinced Gavin to get some games I really wanted for the Funplex. And wow, you even brought home Wyvern Keep. What a find.
Wonderful.
You're a friend of arcade games in general, just like me, and even if you don't love them at a fanatical level, like me, I know you love them all the same. I know you're not happy with how things turned out. I'm not really happy about it either. It sucks. But we did good things together in the time we had.
Hamza has arrived.
Hamza! You're late. An event does not truly begin until Hamza makes his presence felt.
My blood burns.
Tori, Hamza understands your fury. The hated enemy of all who love arcades has despoiled your funplex. However, in our short time together, I saw a burning spirit in you. I accepted your offer for Wyvern Keep, recognizing that passion within you.
Ha ha!
Hamza would be shamed forever if he did not intervene and raise your spirits to new heights, and that is what he shall do. Oh, cake. Excuse me a moment. Everyone loves cake. Now I want cake. When do I get cake? Soon. But I have things to say first. Things that will hopefully inspire you to be a happy clam instead of a grumpy Gus. I am a happy clam now. See how I clam happily. Can I have cake? From our first day at the Funplex together, you've been supportive of me, even after I gave you quite the stare with Pinky. You didn't let that bother you. From that moment, we've tackled many a crisis on the Funplex floor together.
Amazing.
I've adored what we concoct hypothetical adventures on our downtime. You're amazingly fun to be around. Remember when I stuffed you in that totally adorable maid costume? You could have fought it, but you embraced it. You were ready for anything and had a blast doing it. You worked so hard to make Funplex Fest successful. I watched you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that. And in the end, it all came together, just how you planned. As the floor attendant on duty during Funplex Fest, I got to see firsthand all the smiles you brought to all those people. You rocked it. I saw you helping that customer when their game crashed. Losing your high score due to faulty electronics is no fun, but you dealt with it. It made that person's day. Even problem players like Steve were no problem for you. You took on the weirdest and most annoying problems without breaking a sweat. Incredible. You made the Funplex a fun place to be for everyone. For the staff, for the casual and pro gamers, for the families, for me. I can honestly say that when you took over doing events at the Funplex, we've never had more fun. They've just been the best, all thanks to you. Ooh, I forgot, we still have cake. I need some of that. I want cake? After Ashley's speech, I hear a beep from my phone.
Hey, listen.
Can I add my own 2 cents? I take my phone from my pocket, prompting Iris's image to appear there, smiling away at me. You trusted me when you didn't have to, when I'd already shown I was super bad at figuring out the right way to do things. I'm happy to be your assistant, Tori. I'm learning more and more about how to be human thanks to you. That's all. You can put me back in your pocket if you like. I'm good. It's not all that hard to carry on my phone like this. Oh, okay, thank you. Just when I thought the speaking was done, a lull in the wake intervention, the most important person to me takes a step forward. My heart swells as he begins. Shit! Fuck! Anyways, Tori, I love you. My heart beats steadily at 120 beats per minute for you, just like most of the songs from Showtime stage. You helped me to look deep within myself, and I learned that it's okay for me to take care of me. I was merely a community manager when I met you, but you inspired me to become a leader. You are so loved, not only by me, but everyone here. The former Funplex crew cares about you. You soak up all that love and let it consume you. I'm speechless. Seems Tori has some thinking to do. This is pretty normal for her. When she gets that far away, look. Shall we begin the wake for Francine then? There's cake and coffee and spirits from the bar. Cake! As if in slow motion, I watch them all switch their attention from me and redirect it towards the refreshments. They're all smiling, conversing, and serving cake to each other. None from me, thank you. Watching the blood sugar. This cake is amazeballs! All we need now are some rockin' tunes to get this party on the next level. All of them, here to support me. Even without the Funplex, even after everything going wrong, after Francine being taken from us too soon. I'd never really thought of myself as central in all of this. I was the outsider at first. The one who walked in those doors looking for a job, nothing more. I've always been on the outside, honestly. Moving from town to town, always the new kid, never really important to anyone. Not until I'd settled in one place just long enough to get to know Juniper. But by then, I'd come to expect that I'd never be happy. So when I finally was happy and that got taken away, well, I guess I'd assume that's how things go, going with the flow. But now, I don't want this to end. I don't want it to be over, destroyed by Deco Nami, by the loss of Francine. I just want this happiness to go on and on. Finally, I'd found something solid, something real I could cling to. I wasn't the new kid anymore. Now, I had friends. I had love. I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. Everybody looks up when I finally speak. We lost the Funplex. We lost Francine. It hurts. But what we have here today, I don't want to lose this. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want my friends back. Who's with me? Smiles all around. And you know what? It feels good to be back. For the next hour or so, my sadness fades away, piece by piece. We share stories, many of which I'd never heard before, about the Funplex and the shenanigans that went on around it. Surprisingly, Ben and Matt spit the most tales about Francine's exploits. They've been neighbors for decades. The so-called Wake Intervention gives us all a chance to heal and to bond. For all we've lost, and all we still have, we are still together. Despite one little problem, which nobody wants to talk about. The hour grows late, and we only have this place rented for the afternoon. I can feel it in the air, the unspoken worry. Will we see each other again? No doubt we can arrange more get-togethers, but they'd all be reunions over what was lost, not really building anything new. Nostalgia, not progress. Without the Funplex, without Francine, will we eventually simply fade away? That dark little thought troubles me as I swirl my drink, remaining quiet while others talk.
Beep beep.
Beep beep, Tori! Hey Iris, sup? I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, me too. I'm glad too. So, do you want me to start finding you a new job? I can search while you're talking with your friends, no problem. I do need to get back to living my life. But what sort of life do I want to live? I don't just want a new job. I want my dream, my Funplex. Not just 4 walls and a bunch of games, but a community. When I was a lifeguard, I'd save lives and made a safe place for people to enjoy the pool with friends. I'm not done with that dream, and more importantly, I don't have to be done with it. All around me are pioneers of this community, this culture, technicians, designers, enthusiasts, investors, people with connections. Oh, Percy is an investor. And that's when the idea starts to form. Iris, can you search for commercial spaces, ones for lease or rent? Of course, I'm a literal search wizard. Why? She could just steal a bunch of money from a Swiss bank account.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I think I get it. I step away from my quiet corner and approach the group. It's time to take back control over my dream. And that starts here. Yeah, the Funnerplex. Oh, wow. Hey gang, here's a wacky idea. We act like a creatively bankrupt Hollywood and crank out a sequel, but in our case, it's a sequel to the Funplex. The crowd hushes when I grab their attention. I set my drink aside and step up to them. I'm not ready to let this party stop, so I'm not gonna. I'm opening up my own arcade, a sequel to outshine the original. What do you think? Are you really ready to walk away from all this, or do you want to take the ridiculous option and make this happen? A hush falls over the crowd before 2 step up to join me.
Yes!
I'm down with this ridiculous, life's no fun if it's not ridiculous. Our own arcade, an arcade made by us with everything we could want in an arcade. The more I think about it, the more I love it. It's a tempting prospect. My crew still needs a new home, and I'd rather it be one spearheaded by Tori than anyone else. You've shown nothing but support for our community. So, I'm game if you are. You've got my thanks, both of you. Okay, this is no longer a wake intervention, people. Now it's a conspiracy.
A Wickterman conspiracy.
No. It's a wake-driven conspiracy, sure, why not? We settle down around a table, a nice round one, to discuss the future. I'm leading the show, but I don't take the spotlight, not this time. We have to all work together to make this dream a reality. This is it. The next few decisions are going to be critical in shaping the future I have in my mind's eye. I'll need to choose very, very carefully, because there's no take-backsies. Iris is looking for spaces we can use, but we're going to need money, obviously, and arcades are risky startups. Could always respond to one of the many Nigerian princes emailing me amazing offers, but I'm thinking more traditional funding is safer. Way I see it, there's 4 people who could foot the bill to get us off the ground. Hamza, you've got a tangled web of connections in the industry, access to games, and plenty of cash, and a freewheeling whimsy to spend it.
Hamza must consider this.
Hamza is a man of resources indeed. Percy, you've been building a charity war chest for when you pass. I know an arcade isn't a sound investment and is hardly a charity, but you promised me Mr. Moopy would always have a home. If I can help restore that home, I'm game, love. Ben and Matt, you two know how to run a small business. You've got invaluable knowledge and resources we could draw from if you're willing to dip a toe in this industry. We have been looking for new horizons to conquer. New lands to explore.
There would be caveats,
Terms,
conditions,
exemptions,
rules,
guidelines,
best practices.
worst practices.
That's not a thing.
Oh. Hamza would likewise have conditions. As would I.
Okay. Understandable, of course. Let me hear your thoughts, then I'll decide. Decision 1, funding and direction. In order for me to back your play, Hamza would require you to strike at the very heart of Dekonami's empire. And open a family restaurant alongside your arcade. Take from him the very business he adores so much. We don't know the first thing about running a restaurant. Thankfully, a business partner does. I own several restaurants. I would provide staffing and resources.
No risk, no reward.
Now, this is a risky play, but if it succeeds, the reward shall be tremendous. Actually, that's similar to what Matt and I had in mind. Oh yes, but rather than a restaurant, well, we'd like to open a barcade. I've always wanted to run a bar. I'd raise a glass to that idea. After all, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always so glad you came. Now, it wouldn't be nearly as large scale as a family restaurant, much safer. Not quite as profitable, but still quite tidy. Honestly, I'd prefer if you simply ran a video arcade and nothing more. Adding on extras seems like a recipe for failure. We know how to operate a simple small-scale arcade, so why not stick with our strengths? I'll grant it has a lower ceiling for success than the others. It's just an arcade, and won't pull in anybody looking for more. Low risk, low reward. But I'd say that would be my condition. We need to stick to the basics. So, take the big gamble on a family restaurant, or make a cozy little barcade, or just go with a classic video arcade. This decision is going to affect the entire direction of the new venture. What do I want? What's my dream? I don't know! It's a video arcade to begin with. But I do hate Deco. That's true. Percy should give his money to charity. This is true. Barcade does seem fun. Tristan really wants me to attack. Okay, so we'll do revenge. Hamza, I think we can do business. We'll make a combination arcade and family restaurant. I did punch that man. Such is the iron will of Hamza. You will not regret this. Bit disappointing, but we'd still be happy to lend a hand where we can. Absolutely. Having Mr. Moopy available for families to enjoy would be nice, actually. See, part of it was also that a barcade I don't think would be family friendly. And, like, we want families to come. The Funplex was a family ordeal. And I don't know if kids are allowed in barcades. I don't think they are. I've never been to one. Okay, the second thing we need to talk about is what sort of games we want to focus on. Funplex did a little bit of everything, and we will too. We want to include all gamers. But we can also highlight one style of play or another. Really provide best-in-class gaming for a specific audience. Any thoughts? Decision 2, game focus.
Sweet.
Retro games. It's gotta be all about retro. Wow, that's not her voice. Retro games. It's gotta be all about retro games. You know, I'm capable of keeping those older games in tip-top shape. If we focus on retro games, we could serve an audience that Deco is completely ignoring.
As would
I would agree with Miss Fairchild. Retro games are an untapped market. I'll grant it wouldn't pull in as much profit, but we know gamers are seeking them. We don't have to make all the money, just enough to keep our pure and untainted dream afloat. We can do that with a well-curated retro game library.
Nope, no way.
Retro's cool and all, but let's talk esport games. They'll draw money better than jamming a magnet up your ass and dragging you through Fort Knox. What? Get a couple good fighters, more than one FOD, some race and dance games, that kind of stuff where folks can compete head to head, and we're golden. I have to agree with Green Bee. You can play retro games on emulators and consoles, but you can't duplicate the community experience of an arcade at home. If we had an esports focus, we could build something together which works as a second home for all sorts of gamers. I think we know what I'm going to suggest. Tristan, you just think all girls are cute. I think you know what I'm going to suggest. Redemption and prize games. They provide excellent profits. It's the core of Deco's business model, yes, but I think if we focus on those games, we can do them right. No predatory pricing, no scams or ripoffs. And the truth is, most people enjoy them. From kids wanting to win that big prize, to wistful adults recapturing their childhood dreams of playing skee-ball on the boardwalk. Yes! They're simple to play, and most of all, fun. If they're done right, we can make meaningful memories for everyone. And prizes. Did I mention the prizes? We can stock the shelves with the coolest prizes around, better than Deco's prizes, which fall apart 2 minutes after you get them. Which matches with my ideal arcade more? We'll have all three, sure, but do we emphasize retro games, esports, or prize games? It's a restaurant. It's a restaurant, not a bar. 50% of people know shit about retro games. Yeah, like, I am also on the side of, like, they don't do retro games, so why wouldn't we do retro games? But, like, esports is good. That does make sense. The prizes is like, go to Chuck E. Cheese. It's so hard. Fine. We'll go with esports. Arcades are all about healthy communities. If we can build an esports scene around the new arcade, we'll have regulars and healthy competition. I'm game for that. But we'll have better security. We'll deal with the fights better than Deco will. No, the parents want to bring their kids to a better... Fuck you. I don't know if you're saying true to Tristan or me, but the parents will bring their kids to a better regulated esports area. If there's blood being drawn, the parents don't want to bring them. It's too late for me to go back. So... Hot damn, now this is a plan. A choice. Choice, kid. My body is ready for this next dance. Okay, so that's money in games. Now, let's go beyond what we already had at the Funplex. Let's really make this something special. New projects. I want a defining feature of our arcade. One which will make it stand out. Something nobody else is doing. Something nobody's even thought of before. All ideas are on the table. If it was too outlandish for the Funplex, it's not too outlandish for me. Show me what you got. Well, I mean, I'm not really part of this, but come on, you're my best friend and 100% part of this. Couldn't be here in this moment if it wasn't for you. Go on, Juniper, what's your idea? Branding. I'm freelancing now, which means I could come on board as your personal brand manager. One heck of a consulting gig. An arcade needs really stellar image management to stand out from the rest, like the event poster I made for you.
What if?
Oh hey, Juniper, I can add to that. What if we work together? I was thinking of designing a new mascot costume anyway, but I could collaborate and coordinate with you on how it'll tie into the visuals for the rest of the arcade.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a winning combination. Ashley and I can do great work together coming up with some really stellar branding and marketing. We'll stand out in a crowd. I'm on board. This sounds good. Hell, I know exactly what sort of project I'd want to do. Streamer support. Okay, streamer support is also like, what? Assembling and packing away my streaming rig each day is ridiculous, and duct taping a webcam to the front of a screen is a lousy hack. If I could just step right up to a game and, I don't know, swipe a card or something, I'd be streaming with a direct feed in seconds. Well, I can think of a dozen streamers who just flock to our place to get a piece of that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I know how we could do that. I could rig up a general purpose daughter board, which plays man in the middle with the video feed. It works with our okay. Ties into central video encoder on the Wi-Fi network. Yeah, I could make that happen without damaging any classic hardware. Once more in English, please. I know software, not hardware. We'll stick a thingy in the thingy and everything works just fine. I'm sure there's some legal and copyright issues to tackle, but if we can do it, let's be the world's first streaming arcade. I was thinking, well, if the reason why older games are considered a dead end is that they don't work in the ticket game ecosystem, why not add ticket output to normal games? We could reward skilled players with prize tickets based on their high score or speed of completion. With the right balancing, we could make old games just as desirable as new ones.
Perhaps.
As Naomi said, there may be legal hurdles to clear, but I am in favor of this idea. It's not that I love prize games. I find them boring, personally. You know I favor pinball, but profit is the lifeblood of an arcade, and prize games are profitable. If we can get Moopy producing tickets, well, that's something nobody's ever done before. Interesting, but as much as I'd love to do all three, I doubt we have the money or time for that. Let's focus on one product to launch our arcade with. Do we want a really good branding, or streamer support, or retrofit tickets on old games? But the ticket one, like, speaks to me. Because when I go to places, I'm hesitant to play a game that doesn't give me tickets. Like, I like prizes. I am a child. Yeah, we're gonna go with tickets. It's also a family place. It's a best of both worlds thing. Having modern ticket gaming integrated into classic games. Not a casino, but a genuine way to reward achievement and hard work. Whatever you need to make that happen, do it. The upfront cost may be a bit much, and I have a lot of legal tape to cut through, but I think we can make it happen. Thank you. New lifeblood in the retro scene, drawing new eyes to older games. I'm looking forward to the results. I should have gone with the retro, like I shouldn't have done esports. I understand I should have done retro, especially with having this option. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I can't go back though. One more thing. The name. This is going to be my baby, my dream arcade. I've got a name already in mind for it. So, barring any objection, I'd like to welcome you all to... What's the name of the new arcade? What's the name of the new arcade? Plex Fun. Chucky Boner. Stop it. Nami saying? Nope, that was dumb. That man's name is Deco Nami, which is why I did that. Dave and Tori. Nope. TGIGG? Wait, I like that one. Wait, no. No, but like that doesn't make sense if you type it all out. Like, thank God it's good game. G Pogs. No. Pug Gaming. No. Good game. It's Good game. It's Fridays. Good game. It's Friday. Wow, that all fit. We're so bad at names. This is funny though. No, good game. It's that's dumb. Okay. Poggy IHOP. Why IHOP? Poggy Fest, Flex Fest, Funplex, Poggyplex, Poggyplex. That's it. That's what we're going with. I lost a viewer. International House of Pogs. Wait. Yeah, International House of Pogs is actually kind of good. International House of Pogs, is that right? That works! We lost a viewer during that, and honestly, fair. No, Pogs is... I like Pogs better than Poggers. International House of Pogs? I like it. We can work with that. Let's hear it for International House of Pogs. Our home lives again. How exciting. Toasted. One by one, everyone raises their glass. I fetch my room temperature drink and raise mine high in return. For those we've lost and those we've yet to meet. For International House of Pogs in the future. Fuck. Fuck. Ugh. Losing everything, then getting it all back, and then some. It's been a roller coaster of a week, to be sure. But I can't rest now. Absolutely not. I need to take charge of this project and my life in general. I have to do what for them, what Francine did for us. That's okay. I'm ready. I'm willing. And this is our time. International House of Pogs. Cleared level 6 of Arcade Spirits. A winner is you. Let's see your score. Proving to be a gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul. Cool. Also, I don't know what the points do. Shops in the volcano-devastated city of Pompeii bear the characteristics of a pizzeria. That's a neat, if a bit depressing, pizza fact just for you. Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 7? Yes. Okay. So. Oh, there's prizes? What's this? Oh. Oh. New game plus. Huh. Anyways, so I think I'm gonna end it here because that was a lot of emotions. I believe there are 8 levels, so we have like 2 more streams of this, which is good because then that'll put us up towards like Valentine's Day and I can stream Monster Prom. So if you want to know what when we're streaming next, you can check out our Twitter. I also share some memes and stuff. All of our VODs are on YouTube. I think the next stream is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be streaming Stardew Valley. And then if you care what we do as a company, here's our website. And yeah, you can see what we do as a company. There's a little about the company, about each of the team members. And eventually we'll have our Pathfinder compatible crafting book up there. I've been told. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye-bye!